It's great to see you again.
Tonight, we'll be bringing you another Staff Pick segment, where Flora and I will be joined by other members of the crew, Felicity and Jet, to bring you some of our personal music recommendations.
And as always, we've got another music lessons with Jet and some local music news from the Indiana and Pittsburgh areas lined up for you too. Stick around.
Coming soon to the Mr. Roboto project in Pittsburgh is the band Misery, opened for by bands Cutting Ties, Old Neon, The Middle, and Story at 9. The show is set for November 4th at 7 p.m. Tickets are on sale through Eventbrite for $10 or for $18 at the door.
Also coming to Mr. Roboto soon after are bands Mover Shaker, Nice, and Carpool. Also opening the show will be IUP's own local band, Wasted Space. The show is on November 7th at 7 p.m. Tickets are $10 online and $12 at the door. Tickets for all shows we've mentioned will be linked down below if you're watching on YouTube.
On November 4th is the IUP Percussion Ensemble concert. The concerts of the IUP Percussion Ensemble have become a long-standing tradition on campus and venues throughout the country. The group's repertoire includes original compositions, transcriptions, and steel band music in a variety of genres. Many IUP Department of Music events are live streamed and have digital programs. Visit the concert programs page links down below on YouTube for links to these live streams. The show will begin at 8 p.m. in room 121 of Cogswell Hall. Admission is free.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Staff Picks. We're sitting down with Flora, Felicity, and Sydney today, and we're going to be discussing the albums that they've been listening to lately, what they like, what they don't like. So that's basically it. So we'll just start off with, is there one in particular, as of late, you guys have been listening to that you've enjoyed?
Oh dear, me first?
Sure, Flora.
Funny you ask, I happen to bring this. This is The Wrong Car by The Twilight Sad. This is an EP of theirs from 2010. I think I'm covering up Felicity, but that's all right.
It's around the short, it's over good.
This is from 2010. So the first two songs off of this are never before heard tracks for this EP, but the last two are remixes from their second album. And the first of which, The Room, was actually remixed by Mogwai, if you guys have heard of that band. Another excellent band. But yeah, this has been a favorite of mine for a long time. My lovely out-of-print vinyl. I'm very proud of it.
It looks lovely. It looks worn, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well loved.
Well loved. I love it so much.
All right, what about you two? Anything else you can talk about?
Well, an album I always go back to is Magnolia's Divine Feminine. I'm like obsessed with it. I'll listen to it like any season, any time of day. The songs on it, even if you don't listen to them all in order, like they all tell a different story every time you listen. I feel like it's a good fall album especially. It's like more low-key vibes and relaxing to me.
Nice, that's cool. What about you, Sydney?
Lately, I have been a massive fan of Noise Addiction by Pure Hell. It also came out in 2010, but I've been getting back in the gym lately. I've been running a lot, and oh my god, the entire album is just a conglomerate of fantastic, angry trad punk running songs.
Yes.
It makes me want to step on someone.
Yeah, well, that's fair. That's always good.
That's
Get you
fair.
Pumped. Yeah, get you pumped up.
That's fair, that's always good.
That's what's
Step on,
up.
folks.
That's cool. All right, what aspects about those albums that you all just listed, what do you like the most about them? Is there anything unique that makes them stand out, or is there something you just really like about them?
All right, so anybody who's familiar with The Twilight Sad knows that this is incredibly somber, morose, depressive music. And it's just like, if you're looking for something that's like just depressive, just no hope in sight, it really stands out because that's what The Twilight Sad has going on. I always like compared it to a series of unfortunate events. Like that is a series of books that has no highlights in it.
No light at the end of the
No
tunnel.
light at the end of the tunnel whatsoever. So I'd say the equivalent of that in different media, in music, is The Twilight Sad. Like if you're looking for music that's just like, oh, it's dark, oh, it's bleak, this is the one. So like, I always listen to The Twilight Sad, especially in like the dead of winter. Yes.
That's what I was going to say. The Twilight Sad as a group, like the music itself, It reminds me of the time my car ran out of gas in rural Pennsylvania
Oh, no.
at 7 p.m. in January. Just alone, cold, scared,
Frigid.
maybe looking death in the eye, but in like
That's how I'd be
a
feeling.
somber way.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, like this is not December music. This is January music. This is
February
February
too.
music. This is the hopeless months music.
Like
Yeah.
dead end of March when it's still snowing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a good.
It's slush.
Yeah.
Slush as noise.
There absolutely is a like there's songs. I would even go as far to say as particular artists or album that are absolutely winter or summer.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You can't like there's some like this is totally random, but you can't listen to like Leonard Skinner in the winter.
Right.
What? Like what are you doing?
Yeah, I've got whole
Makes
like
no sense.
I've got albums and playlists that are just like for specific months. Like I've got all my like Russian doomer music on
Yeah.
there. I got my Twilight Sad on
Yeah,
there.
of course, of
Yeah.
course.
This makes me feel desolate and lonely. I love it.
Me.
That's cool. All right. Any favorite or least favorite songs on the album that you think?
You guys talk. I've been talking too much.
No, go ahead.
Well, what I said about the album, I like it because it's angry. It's angry all the time. It has trad punk influences, and I think by far my favorite song on there is Lame Brain because it has such a like Bad Brains feel to it. It's good. It's just angry. It is fast, it is angry, and it does not make sense, much like traditional punk. Very loosey-goosey. It's my favorite song by far on the album.
Nice.
So my favorite song on Divine Feminine would have to be Cinderella because it goes along with all of the other songs on the album. I go back and forth between Cinderella and Congratulations, which is the first song on the album. They're both like very like more of a upbeat but slower tone, if that makes any type of sense, type of song.
Why did you all stop and look?
It's just I'll fix it in post. We'll get it.
It's okay. We'll just go from her again. You can go. Just whenever you're ready. Just like where you left off.
I don't know, it's, like I said, his songs all tell a different story, and for me, songs also go with memories. So like when I think of like Cinderella, I think of driving in the car with like my friend, just like needing to get out of my own head, and we're just like screaming the lyrics at the top of our lungs.
Nice. That's awesome. Hey Jet, what's an album you've been listening to lately that you really like? I'm so glad you guys asked. So, an album, it's one of my favorite albums of all time. It's by a band that is very overlooked. It does not mean that they're bad. I just think they are so overlooked
Did you
in the
say
grand.
Nickelback?
No, it is Nickelback. What? It is the album is Morning View by Incubus, and it's the 20th anniversary just the other week.
We watched the live
That's
stream
right.
together. It
That's
was
right.
glorious.
It was great. Brandon Boyd has not aged a day. He's a very beautiful man.
It's fine.
It's an album that I mean, obviously everything is subjective, but from song one until the end, it's not even that it's cohesive. It's just a journey, and it's a good set list, and it goes from front to end. Like there's not a bad song on the album. So how can I knock it? How can I knock it? It just doesn't make sense to me. Just the way that, I don't know, the band, they have so many genres, I can't pin it down. It's rock, but it's also hard rock, but it's also a little bit of funk, but it's also, we have acoustic guitars sometimes. What is our genre? We don't know. We make good music, you know? So that is a very good one. All of their albums, for the most part, are pretty good, but that one in particular I've been listening to because I'm only a little bit older than that album. That's kind of embarrassing to say. So, okay, that's about it. Did anyone have any finishing thoughts? Anything they wanted to add before we get out of here?
If you end up listening to Noise Addiction by Pure Hell, if you want to find artists that have a similar sound, go to the source, go to Bad Brains. Bad Brains will forever be just glorious. If you want a similar sound that's more specific to them, Chupacabra, specifically Russian Models or Violent Urges, are both fantastic. Newer songs that have that classic punk sound. Also, Black Flag, of course. That's really all I can say if you want to find something similar.
That's a great answer.
So I'd like to say, make sure that y'all check out the music video for the titular track, The Wrong Car. The music video is wild. It's just, it follows a marionette puppet as he somberly like wanders through a city, and it's so like morose and just, it's hilarious and awful, and it's great. And I would also say that if anybody is like a fan of The Cure, you're gonna like The Twilight Sad. Robert Smith actually did a cover of one of Twilight Sad's songs, There's a Girl in the Corner. So he did a cover of that, and if you're a fan of The Cure, you're gonna like these guys.
Nice. Sounds good. Did you have anything you wanted to add, Felicity, or not?
No.
Okay, great. We will end it there. Thank you very much for watching this segment of Staff Picks. And as always, we'll see you next week. Take it easy, guys. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Music Lesson. This week I'm going to be teaching you Stay Together for the Kids by Blink-182. So it's going to be in standard tuning. I will teach you the main pattern, and I will also teach you the chorus. It's a relatively simple song. It's really not made up of too many parts. So I'll teach you all three basically. So here's going to be like this. It's going to be in standard tuning, and it's going to start with a bar chord where your pointer is going to be on the 5th of the A, and your ring is going to be on the 7th of the D. So you're going to go like this. So it's going to go. So it's going to be 5, open D, 5. So, and then you're going to put your ring on the 7th of the D. So it's going to be. So, and then it's going to go 5 open again. So. And then it's going to be. So it's going to be 4 on the D and then open. So it's. Like that, right? So that first part, that at full speed is. Then it's going to be 4th on the A, and you're still going to hit 7th on the D, so it's going to be. Same, pretty much the same, except instead of playing on the 5th, you're playing on the 4th fret. A little bit more of a stretch. That's just how it's done, so. And it's going to be same bar, pointer on the 2nd of the A, it's going to hammer on the 4th of the D, so it's going to be. This is where it's a little bit different. So it's going to be 2, open 2, 4, open 2, and then 5 open. And then this is the last part is where it gets a bit different. So it's going to be, is it a, yes, that's it. So it's going to be open. You're going to play open every other one on the A. So it's going to be. So open 2 on the D. Open 2 open. 4, 5, 4, 2. And then open at the end. All right, I'll run through that at half speed, then I'll run through that at full speed. So that's going to be. So that's like that, right? So the next part is going to be what you play through the verse. It's pretty much the same. You're still playing the bar chords for the most part. So it's going to start off like this. So it's going to be the same bar chord you started with, 5 and 7 on the A and D. So it's going to be, that's it, just twice on the 5, once on the 7, 3 times. So keep your ring finger where it is. You can use your pointer or middle. I like middle because it's easier, on the 7th of the high E. So it's going to be same thing, right? And then 5th of the high E. So from 5 of A to 7 of high E to 5 of high E. So, and then the last one's going to be, you play that one twice as long too. So I'll play that real quick to show you what that sounds like. Play that twice all together. That's both of the verses. So that is going to be, lead you into the chorus. Pretty simple. It's going to be a power chord, pointer on the 3rd of the high E, pinky and ring on 5th of the A and D. So it's basically going to be this. Like that, and then it's going to go down to pointer on the 2. Just back up to 3. I know Tom DeLonge changes it a little bit, so sometimes he will quickly go from open, so that would be like open high E and then 2nd on the A, so it'd be like that in the transition. It's all just preference. There's really no wrong way to play that part. It's just what he likes to do. So you can either do that, or it could be like, right, see that difference? I know sometimes he also likes to do, I've seen him do it where instead of 2, it's 5 on the 5 power chord on the A. So I've seen him do it either way. Like I said, there's no really wrong way to do it. It's all just preference. So. You can even mix it up a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna run through that real quick. I will run through from the intro to the first chorus. And this is how it goes, basically. There you go. That's basically how you play Stay Together for the Kids by Blink-182. Once again, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next week, Rockers.
Thanks for sticking with us for another episode. And thank you, Sydney, for joining me again on Staff Picks. It's always a pleasure to talk to you about music.
Of course, and we hope you join us again next week too. As always, if you want to stay up to date on when new episodes drop on our YouTube channel, you can subscribe and make sure to hit the bell below.
You can also follow us on our socials, all linked down below if you're watching online. There we do indie and local artist of the week posts and link you to some of our favorite music videos.
Later.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our last episode of Staff Picks for the season. I'm here with Flora and Sydney. We're going to talk more about some albums they've been listening to. As always, Flora's got some cool vinyls. So what do you got for us this week, my man?
So this week I have a 45 of the B-sides for Antisocialites by Always. I did previously talk about Antisocialites on the segment, so I thought that it would be only fitting to talk about the B-sides next. So this came out in 2018. It was released a few months after the album itself, back in 2017. It's got 3 tracks on it: Pecking Order, Echolalia, and Supine Equine. And I think that they're really overlooked, honestly, in the band's catalog. They have a very small catalog, but they're overlooked, and these are some good tracks.
Nice, dude. What's up? What about you?
So today I will be talking about Hiss Spun by Chelsea Wolfe. This is one of my all-time favorite albums by her because she's mostly known for her folk work, but this album really kind of she dips her toes into the water that is doom metal, and I'm obsessed with it. It's really good.
That sounds awesome. Doom metal.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's cool. So I know she got a ticket in there. Is that for, did you see them already, or is that for upcoming?
Yeah, I saw them. This is the ticket from the show I went to where I bought this vinyl.
Oh, okay.
Because they were selling the B-sides at the merch table. So
Yeah.
I keep it in there as it's part of my Always shrine.
That's cool. Nice, dude. Okay. What'd you find most interesting for each of you about the album that you're listening to? What stands out as unique? What stands out as creative, something you haven't heard in a while? I'll go to you first because I asked her.
So the thing that makes this album really distinct, especially from Chelsea Wolfe, is, again, like I mentioned earlier, she's really known for her folk. One of my favorite songs by her that's not on this album is Pale on Pale, which is a very kind of almost like Bon Iver, melancholic but light folk song. This album, it's doom metal, basically. It's very echoey, it's very ominous. She gets into some screaming in the background. It's really just this step forward in a different direction for her as an entire artist. So it's kind of witnessing this almost metamorphosis. And I really think it's cool because it's a step in her evolution.
Yeah, that's cool.
Watch the very first comment we ever receive on our channel be some nerd going, actually it's a bony there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna get killed for that.
Literally, that's about right, honestly. What about you? That's the same thing for you, Flora.
So the most interesting thing to me about this is that, obviously this is going to be the case because it's B-sides. It's not going to sound like, the usual vibe that a band has. They're B-sides for a reason. But the most interesting thing is just how different this sounds to me anyway from their usual stuff.
Yeah.
Because their debut album and then their second album, they each have very uniform, very concise, very recognizable sound. And it's really interesting seeing Always put something out that's such a departure from that. It's still recognizable, but it's definitely different than their usual fare, I think.
Nice, that's what's up. Okay, I was gonna ask. I'm so sorry. I'm probably gonna have to cut and whatever, but I was gonna ask least favorite tracks. That's right. Fuck, I always forget that. Okay. I'm gonna look over here because that's where I was looking. Okay, for each of you, least favorite tracks on the album. Anything that stands out to you the most?
I think that Echolalia is probably my least favorite track off of here. There's only 3 tracks, but that doesn't mean that I don't love it. It's great.
Yeah.
But I'd say that Echolalia is it's the most unassuming. It's the one that blends into the background the most. It's not a memorable song in their catalog, so I'd say that's my least favorite. It's also extremely short. It's just over a minute, I think. Which it's a B-side, so yeah. But then my, I'm so sorry.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
Did you say did you say least favorite and favorite, or
Yeah.
just least?
I said both.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I said both.
I'll
Yeah.
also say favorite.
If you don't have a least favorite, then don't worry about it. But favorites for sure.
Yeah.
Right in there.
And then I would say that my favorites are obviously the other two that are Pecking Order and Supine Equine. Supine Equine, okay, first of all, what a name.
Yeah, great.
Love that. That's just, one of the lines is, am I a horse with a broken leg? Yeah, so
That's how I
great.
that's all I have to say about that, honestly.
That's pretty mint.
Yeah.
Seriously. I mean,
feel in those lyrics.
B-sides are always such a nice little rarity because
Yeah.
it's stuff that you would never normally hear, and it's like I remember listening to a few from when I was younger, a couple bands I re-released some stuff, and you hear demos of early versions of really popular songs. You're like, this is wild. This almost sounded like this.
Yeah,
which I
yeah.
thought it was pretty interesting. What about you? Least favorite, anything on yours?
Sorry, all I could think when you were talking about how B-sides were a little treat, I was like, it's like a reward.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
It is. It's a little fun treat. Anyway, favorite and least favorite tracks on the album. I usually try not to have least favorites because it's meant to be listened to in order, but
Yeah.
I can say I don't really like Vex that much on this album. It is my least favorite because it's not that it's bad. There is no bad song on this album. It's just, it's a little bit below what the other songs are, such as Twin Fawns or The Culling. They're overall, the entire album is a work of art, so I feel like Vex kind of just, it doesn't live up to the rest of the album, which I hate saying because I adore this artist and I love this album, but
Yeah, and it's okay. And I was saying, it's okay if you don't have a least favorite, because some albums are just that good where you feel like they don't have any, or even if they do have some, you just enjoyed all of them anyway. So I guess it all depends.
There's just something about its quality that kind of makes it stand apart a little bit from the rest of it. That one's not quite like the others.
Totally, I agree. Okay, cool. Any closing thoughts? Any last thing you'd like to say about it? Any more praise you'd love to give?
I'd say it's definitely the mark of a great band whenever they have B-sides that sound like they could easily be incorporated on in the track list of a regular album,
Yeah.
and nobody would even bat an eye. And I would say that I would say that Pecking Order, if that one was on an Always album, I wouldn't even have batted an eye. That's how you know a band's really good. Whenever they got B-sides that are that could have been a single,
Yeah, exactly.
I don't really necessarily have any closing thoughts. I just when you look up the album, it's what genre does this fall under? And it's folk, doom metal, gothic rock, psychedelic rock, and experimental noise all at once.
This falls under everything.
It's everything.
Just a big conglomerate.
It sounds like sad, wistful vampire music.
Yes.
That's all I can say about it. Not in a Molchat Doma way or in a Twilight Sad way, but in a really dramatic running around in a castle way. That's
Yes.
vampire driving in a car at night.
That sounds excellent.
This is
I need to listen to
vampire
that.
in the castle music. It makes me a drama queen.
Oh,
I love it.
That sounds amazing.
It sounds like it's right up your alley.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. All right, well, cool. Thanks for sharing, guys. This is the last episode for the semester. Thanks again for tuning into Staff Picks, and we'll see y'all later. Take it easy.